In this video, I'm going to help you get started using forms with the DataEasy Forms mobile app. This video is the second video in the how-to series, so if you missed the first one, you should return to the Learn page on the DataEasy website and watch the first video titled How to Build a Form. Today, I will demonstrate the app on the Android mobile phone you see here. Please be aware, the DataEasy Forms mobile app also runs on iOS devices, tablets, and desktop computers. How it works here on this Android mobile phone is how it works on those other devices as well. Let's get started learning how to use some forms I built using the DataEasy Forms mobile app. When the Forms app starts, the first screen shows the list of forms available to use. In the first how-to video, we created the buildings form you see here in the list. Since then, I built several other forms that work together as a capital asset management system. To get started using this management system, I'll tap on the Compound Form button. Compounds are groups of buildings. First, I will type in a name and add a description. Next, I will tap the Photos and Coordinates button. Now I am taking an XYZD photo for the compound. This XYZD photo field also captures my location, elevation, and facing direction. Now I'm giving the photo a caption and tapping the back arrow to return to the form. Notice that to the right side of the Photos and Coordinates button, there's a 1. When I tap on the 1, the XYZD photo I took is redisplayed. Each time I tap the Photos and Coordinates button, another XYZD photo is added to this campus record. As you can see now, there's a 2 next to the Photos and Coordinates button. If I tap the 2, the XYZD photo list collapses. When I scroll down the compound form, notice the Buildings button. That building button is on the compound form because each compound record can have a list of buildings associated with it. When I tap the Buildings button, the building form that we created in the first video is opened. Note that I've added some more fields to the Buildings form. The first building in my compound will be the Science building. The Science building also has XYZD photos. When I tap the Photos and Coordinates button, the app will capture an XYZD photo of the building. Now, I will give this XYZD photo a caption, Front. When I'm done describing the XYZD photo, I just tap the back button to return to the building form. As you can see, there's a 1 next to the Photos and Coordinates button. When I tap the 1, it shows the XYZD photo that I just took. Now, I'll take another photo of the building from a different angle. I will give this one a caption, Back. Once again, I tapped the back button at the top of the form, and now I'm back to the Buildings form. Notice the 2 next to the Photos and Coordinates button. When I tap the 2, I can see that I have a front picture and a back picture of the Science building. Since this XYZD photo field is configured as a list, I can continue to take as many of these photos as I want. Moving down the form, I come to a Select field where I can select what type of building the Science building is. Below that are text boxes where I can add the street address, provide a description of the building, and more. Notice the buttons at the bottom of the Buildings form. Using those, I can add maintenance tickets and accident reports and associate those to this building record. I'm not going to delve into that in this video, but you get the idea. Forms can contain buttons that open associated forms. When I tap the back arrow at the top of the Buildings form, it returns to the school compound form. Notice the 1 next to the Buildings button, indicating that now we have 1 building associated with this compound record. If I tap on the 1, the list below the button expands, and you can see a summary of the Science record I just created. Now, we will tap the Buildings button to add another building to this school compound. I will name this the Language building. Next, we will select a building type from the drop-down list. Down at the bottom of this building form, I could tap on the buttons of the associated forms to attach maintenance tickets to this building or create an equipment inventory. Again, we're not going to get into that just yet, so when I tap the back button, the app takes me back to the compound record. On the compound form, you can see there is a 2 next to the buildings button, and below that, there are links to the science and language buildings. If I tap the 2, the app collapses the list of buildings. If I tap it again, it expands. If I were to select the equipment button below, I could add some equipment records to this compound, such as vehicles or lawnmowers. Also, if I tap the maintenance tickets button, I could add maintenance tickets associated to the compound for systems like water or sewage. If I were to tap the safety reports button, I could even insert safety reports for this compound. The point is, no matter what kind of form you build, you can associate those forms to each other, and they will work the same way as the buildings and compound forms I just showed you. So, now I'm finished entering my main compound record. Now I'm tapping the back arrow. Notice that the app returned back to the home screen. Now, the Forms tab is displaying the entire list of forms available in the app. All of those forms I built using the app. If I tap on a form, a blank, empty form opens. But if I want to see the records I have created, I must tap the Recent tab. The Recent tab lists those forms I recently entered data into. As you can see, the list displays the name of the form and a brief summary of the data it contains. If I tap anywhere on a record in the list, the record opens up in the associated form. When I tap on this building record, the app opens up the building form and loads that record into it, so I can view or edit it. Next, we'll go ahead and add some more data to this building record. When I tap the back button, you can see the app returns back to the home screen again. Now I will tap the Recent tab again, and you can see the data I just entered displayed in the summary for that building record. Scrolling down, we find the compound records that I created recently. If I tap the first compound record, it opens up the school compound record I created earlier. Now I can go ahead and add some more information to that record. While I have this record open, I will create a maintenance ticket for it. To summarize, on the home screen, I tapped the Recent tab. I opened up a compound record that I created previously, and now I'm attaching a maintenance ticket to it. Tapping the back button saves all I did and returns me back to the compound record. And now you can see next to the maintenance tickets button, I have one record, something broke, electrical. Next, returning to the home screen saved all that data that I added to the compound record. Scrolling down the recent list, I find the compound record again, bringing it back up. As you can see, the changes are there, and down here is the maintenance ticket I created. To get to that maintenance ticket, I tap the 1 on the right side of the button. That has expanded the list of forms and now displays the maintenance ticket forms that are attached to the compound form. To edit this maintenance ticket record, or read it again, I tap the pencil, and now I'm back to my maintenance ticket record. I could just look at it, or I could add some more information to it. But for now, I'm just going to take a look and tap the back button. Now you can see a message tells me, you didn't make any changes. Do you want to save it anyway? We will select no. Okay, so we looked at the maintenance record, and now I'm back to the compound record. Now I'm going to return back. So that's the way the home screen works. All your forms are shown there on the Forms tab. Tap on any form there to open it and enter new records. All of your recently entered records are shown on the Recent tab. Tap on any record there to view a form you already filled out. Notice the wrench icon next to each form on the Forms tab. In the last video, I showed you how to design a form. Tap the wrench icon to edit the design of a form. For example, if I tap this icon, the app opens the design screen, and now I can add new fields, change the properties, or remove fields that are here. On the Forms tab, if I tap somewhere other than on the wrench icon, the form opens in the data entry mode, like this. Notice the red lines. The red line under the Name field indicates that Name is a required field. If I enter some data into the form, but I forget to fill out that required field, and then tap the back button, the app tells me the name is required and I need to fix it. To summarize, I opened the building form, entered some data, tried to leave without entering in a name, and the app told me to fix it. I went back and filled in the name, and then tapped the back arrow, and now I'm at the home screen again. If I select the Recent tab, the new building record is now at the top. If I tap on that, I'm now looking at the building record I just created. So, if I need to edit this building record, I just go to the Recent tab, tap on it, and then I can edit it. By tapping on the Recent tab again, you can see the data summarized that was changed. If I go back, it's different. Okay, so now the app message says, "You made no changes. Do you want to save it anyway?" We're going to select No this time, because we were just looking at it. So that's how the Recent tab provides quick links to the stuff you're working on. Be aware, the Recent tab list only holds the last 100 records. If you can't find a record in the Recent tab list, you can search for it. If I tap the menu on the home screen, then tap the search option, the search screen opens. Here I can search for anything in the database several different ways. At the top, there's a search box. The search box performs a full text search of all the information that's in the database. Right below the search box are 3 tabs. The first of these, the Map tab, is selected by default. Right now, the Map tab is showing the locations of all the XYZD photos I took earlier. If I tap on any of those, I can navigate to the record associated to that location. There are several types of fields in the forms that collect GPS coordinates, and those will show up here as well. The next tab over is the Photos tab. The Photos tab lists all the photos, so if I need to search for a photo, I can find it this way pretty quickly. If I tap on a photo, I can navigate to the record it belongs to. The next tab over displays a summary of the text for records, much like the Recent tab does. The difference is, here I can do operations like select multiple records and delete them. If I tap on the pencil icon on a record in the list, the app will open that record. Now, if I tap back, it will return me to the search form. Another thing to keep in mind is that the search form by default lists 10 records. This is so that each page will open quickly. If you tap the down arrow icon next to the search box, a menu appears. From the menu, you can choose to fetch more. If there's not too many records in the database, just choose Fetch All. Now you can see there's 20 records in all, and in those 20 records, there's that many photos. And since each of these photos has a location, markers for them are shown here on the map too. When you find what you're looking for, tap on it to navigate to the record. If I find a photo that I'm interested in, a tap brings me to the photo field to view that photo. If I tap the back arrow, it takes me out of the photo field and up to the form record that photo belongs to. If I tap the back arrow again, the app brings me back to the search screen. Now I'm going to use the search box to do a full text search for science. Okay, so these are all the records that it found that contain that keyword. As you can see, on the Photos tab, there were 4 photos, and on the Map tab, there are 4 locations. If I select a record in the list, I'm now looking at the science building record I created. As you can see, there are multiple ways to find the information that you entered previously. You can find it by a photo, you can find it by the search box, or you can find it by interacting with the map like this. Using your fingers, you can zoom and pan to move around the map until you see the location of the record you want. When you find the record, as a point on the map, you tap on it. When I'm finished browsing, I can tap the back button until I end up back at the home screen. In conclusion, today I showed you a capital asset management system that I built using the DataEasy Forms mobile app, which I can now access on my phone, my tablet, or my desktop computer. Using the same DataEasy Forms mobile app I showed you today, you can build just about any type of system like this one. Since I have my capital asset management system on my phone, I can use it anywhere, whether I have a network connection or not. Later, in an upcoming how-to video, I will show you how to use the cloud to extend this capital asset management to an entire team, crowd, or enterprise. So be sure to continue to watch this how-to series to access future content. I hope this video helps you, and you enjoy using the app. Please send email to support@dataeasy.com if you have any questions or want to provide feedback on how we can improve the app. Thanks for watching.